instructions about this episode while I was traveling back home from Europe, and I read none of them.
I figured as much.
I was on a train in Munich after Oktoberfest, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's a thing. Yeah.
And if you are all on, if anybody's on Twitch right now, remember you got to refresh because we got that nice little advertisement that comes before everything. If you're not, well, you get to listen to this because if you are a subscriber of $1 or more, you get it. Well, there's Arcane Assist. Wow, we have 3 viewers in there, all of us.
Maxim DT's in there.
Is he?
Yeah, he's in.
Okay. Oh, hey, DT, what's up? Okay, yeah, like I said, you just gotta make sure the advertisements are going through because they want us to make money.
Yeah.
Not us.
They want to make money off of us.
There we go. So, welcome to the PreRamble. On this episode, we have 2 people. One person I've known for a while. One person I met at MomCon, and he got mad at me and threw stuff at me. And so I had to be really, really nice to him and invite him on this show. And that was my boy, Evan. He got mad at me because Kador beat him in the face, and he got really hostile at me. No, Evan was a really good sport. Don't ever say anything. I will never say anything negative about. And, of course, a person I've known for a while, never really did much with, but my friend Tim Benke.
That's me. How's it going?
Say hello to the lovely people.
Hello, lovely people. And the rest
of course, there's, John Spencer. He's always in the background causing problems.
That's what they pay me for.
They pay you?
No. I never said it was expensive.
Oh, no, he's cheap. He is extremely cheap.
It's good to be a cheap date. You can still have fun with a cheap date.
Oh, yeah. So this is a PreRamble. Pretty much what we do on the PreRamble is we just talk about what we did, kind of give a little surprise, maybe a little thing about what's going on, but we don't spoil the podcast.
Okay.
So, I'll say, let's see. So, this week, I played a couple of games. We're doing a Journeyman League, and so I played a couple of games of that. No big deal, because I'm playing Grimkins. I really like playing Grimkins. And then Oh, no. Let me talk about work for a second, because I really fucked up with my kids. Okay, I'll tell you that. I really screwed my kids up this week.
Is that a thing in your life
yes.
that we like to say?
Yes, we can talk about this, because a lot of my kids, they really have a problem with Donald Trump being president. Who doesn't? So...
Yeah, I'm glad they do, on one hand, because otherwise, we have whole new problems, like raising a generation of people who are excited about Donald Trump being president.
Yeah, well, most of my kids are junior high to high school, and so what I did is during one of my breaks, I created a fake website. There's a place where you can take and clone another website and just input your own information in there. So I took the Time website, cloned it over, and started changing headings where it says Donald Trump resigns, and all these bullet points and all this other stuff and everything that Donald Trump would say. Like, one of the headlines is, "I'm tired of the American people disrespecting me. I quit. Hope you can deal with Rocket Man by yourself." Stuff like that. Things that you would expect him to say.
Oh my God.
I had a bunch of kids come in, and I had 4 staff come in, because where I work is not a typical classroom. It's a behavioral type classroom.
Okay.
And so the staff were like, "Oh my God, is this real? Oh my God, wait, please let this be. Please let this be." And I'm like, and of course I'm calm, cool, chilled as ever, and just playing it off. I had one of the kids read it, and everybody was starting to dance for joy and getting really happy, except for 1 or 2 people. They just didn't care. They're like, "Fuck you, Mr. Eric." And I'm like, "Oh, whatever." And so then I started messing with the website and showing it was real, and man, did that piss people off. I mean,
it's really sad.
Because even the staff were like, "Fuck you." And I was like, and the object was behind it to show quickly how people can make a fake website and make fake news. And because one of the things that came out, and I know it's kind of a hot topic, the Las Vegas shooting was... One of the biggest articles that came out was, "Here's the fake news, here's the real news behind it." And it was kind of sad that we've got to now do this so we can separate the shit news from the real news, so we can get the real story of what happened. So that was just one of the tricks that I played on my kids this week, and I'm always giving them shit and causing problems with them.
You're a terrible person, Gonzo.
No, I'm not. I keep my kids on their toes because they never know what's going to happen when they come in my classroom. And believe it or not, I'm the math teacher.
I had a really interesting conversation with my partner earlier today about influential teachers we had growing up, and almost all of our most profoundly influential teachers that really stuck with us in adult life were, I guess colloquially, complete assholes. The ones that really kind of make you angry and upset during the course of your year, those are the ones that really have an influence. That they affect you in the most profound way.
Well, it's like my kids right now. They're learning how to balance a budget because they don't teach that in school. They don't teach kids how to balance budget, how to use money wisely, how to save it. And so my kids get a paycheck, and they can spend money to do things in my classroom, but they also have to pay all their bills. They have their phone bill, their cable bill, car, all that type of bills that us normal people have. And every Monday, I give them a piece of paper saying what happened to them on the weekend. And sometimes they'll have a flat tire, so I have to pay for fixing their tire, or something that happens that's out of the blue. And and so they that's pretty funny, Legionnaires. It's actually a really good game too. But they get upset because they're like, this would never happen. And I'm like, what do you mean? People get flat tires all the time. And they're like, well, my mom and dad would pay for it. And I was like, well, what happens if your mom and dad pass away? Oh, I get their will. And I'm like, okay. And that's not going to last you very long. So we get into that heated debate and stuff. So.
Wow, that's that's not how real life works. Mom and dad are not going to pay for everything.
No,
kids.
And it's hard to get the kids to realize that. But so, John, what did you do this weekend or this week?
This week, work as normal. Is a busy week. I started the actual Slow Grower League for the games and stuff population on a whole for Malifaux.
Sweet.
Had 6 people show up. 4 of them actually paid. 2 of them are like, I'm not sure it can show up every week. I'm like, well, fine, you can play, but you're not in for any of the prizes at all.
Okay.
Just to keep people playing.
Fair.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the point of the league is the players, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So they're playing. I mean, they're not going towards a prize pool, but they're not getting anything, and I'm throwing a couple things personally in. So, and I told them all, like, look, if you change your mind, go ahead and pay at any point, and you'll count whatever you've done in your packet towards the rest. So it's all good. So that's pretty good. Enjoyed that. We did. There was a Legend of the Five Rings release event yesterday. I went to. I did not participate in because playing a game you don't know against people you don't know is a recipe for disaster.
What? You're kidding me, right?
No, I'm not kidding you. So my crew just sort of sat in the corner of the store and hung out with the people, chatted occasionally, come by, and just they played a game. I watched them play and fooled with my sets a bit. So that's cool. I'm looking forward to getting that together and playing some of that. I haven't really played much in the way of non-deck builder card games in a while.
I heard it's actually supposed to be pretty damn good too.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Did any of you guys play the original one?
Mm-mm. Oh yeah, absolutely. Played the hell out of it.
It's I mean some elements of it are slightly simplified, but it should feel like a very familiar product.
It's kind of familiar, though I think the people coming into it fresh are in a much better place because you don't have any of the preconceived notions of how things should work from way back in the day, so to speak.
Perfect.
Let's see, I played the role-playing game, so I come from that aspect of it.
Yeah, they're actually working on a new role-playing game, too. I've heard mixed reviews. I'll tell you more as I hear more, but right now it seems like it's an interesting thing and probably would be a great con game, but it seems like it is not necessarily the great you and your buddies want to play a role-playing game on the weekend game.
Oh, because I played the role-playing game, and I have, like, all the books for it, and it's really super good role-playing game. Really fucking deadly, though.
Yeah, really deadly. I played it way back when it first came out for a bit. I mean, come on. Nowadays, I don't get a chance to play any role-playing games. I run The Adventures of Sewer Bear, and that's about it right now. Which was yesterday, and unlike the time before, it was not a shitstorm. It was actually good. The players worked together a little bit. Oh my god.
Is Sewer Bear going to make an appearance on More Than Dice podcast?
I could get Sewer Bear to make an appearance at some point.
Sweet.
Last night was Sewer Bear versus Mecha Sewer Bear.
What?
Oh yeah. I mean, if you're a supervillain, why don't you just make a robotic giant bear to cover your tracks when you need to murder some people? But unfortunately, they debuted it, and Sewer Bear was there, and it ended with Sewer Bear ripping its head off, prancing around it, and then spiking it in front of some federal agents. Because that's what you would do when you're a Sewer Bear. You just rip its head.
Is a Sewer Bear.
So, my roommate's character is Mama Brown. She is basically old black lady. Her original concept was Granny Luke Cage.
Okay.
But then it sort of morphed into, we had this whole background where she turns into a bear. And not like a small bear, like the biggest bear you've ever seen.
Jeez, okay.
So that's what Sewer Bear is. The joke is, one of the characters who's that fast-talking, kind of ex-con type of guy, started calling it, the bear came out of the sewers and attacked everyone! So it sort of caught on. The other PCs were like, oh yeah, I'm putting all my money into drones, and my buddy's going to help run them, we're going to get pictures, making websites and everything. So,
all right. Fair enough.
It's a good time.
Sewer Bear. I'm
Bear,
on board.
Yeah, we actually recorded. I'm not sure where we're going to release it anymore, but we'll figure it out. I got a bunch of episodes in the bag still, so.
What?
So that was my weekend.
Evan, did you do anything?
Well, I ran a War Machine tournament. Me and Tim work at the same game store, so we tag team it. Like, he gets to play one, and then I get to play one. And other than that, I've played a few games of War Machine. Not a huge amount, which is not exciting because I've so many new themes. But I'm sure we'll get to that.
Yeah.
In terms of not War Machine, I'm starting to make a D&D campaign for a bunch of my classmates who have never played D&D before because I think it will be funny. I really want it to work out kind of like that Community episode. So we're going to see how that goes.
What system are you going to be using?
We're going to just use 5e because, it's simple. I have the box that tells everyone what they do. And they can work from there. And aside from that, schoolwork. So much schoolwork.
So much schoolwork? What are you
Third year of college. Woo!
I feel so old.
Yeah, no
so old.
Shit. So, what's it like being a young buck in an old man's game?
Oof. Well, I mean, for a long time, it was confusing and a lot of losses. And then eventually I started, taking it seriously and wanted to win games and got fed up with losing and frustrated, so I did that. And thankfully, Tim was good enough to actually teach me the game properly.
Is that what I did? I guess that's
I don't know.
evaluation.
So he took you under his... Because I've noticed a pattern here. I bet you what he did is he took you under his hair, and that hair morphed into your hair, and now y'all are like, hair buddies. And so that's how it worked out, right?
Your life.
Yep. Yeah. Not a parasitic bond at all.
Not a parasitic bond at all. I like that. That's honest of you, and I appreciate that.
So that's where we're at.
And Tim, did you do anything this last week?
I got back from Munich, which was cool. So there's been a lot of adjustment. I had kind of a day to get over the jet lag, and I jumped back into worked a couple of 12-hour shifts at the shop, and remembered how to sort magic cards that got traded in, and talked to people about board games. I got to play my first War Machine game since the WTC on Thursday. I busted out the Wanderer so I could play with some Grumblekin. And I liked the lists and stuff, and some people wanted to borrow some models from me for the tournament this Saturday, so I shelved my Cricks, pulled out some Grimkin, and just, played super casually.
What board games were you looking at and testing out?
We sell a lot of board games. We're a pretty big shop, and I think we're probably the biggest store in our area, and we have just a lot of people walking in and trying new things. So L5R is kind of a big attraction this week. We finally got proper restocks of the Jim Henson's Labyrinth game, which has been really well received. Yeah. And has been really difficult to get for some time, even though it came out ages ago. And there's been a bunch of titles. A growing genre of games that are really, really exciting in my shop are the escape room themed games. The Unlock series is really popular. We've also got the Escape Room the board game and its various expansions that have been widely available again. So that kind of thing. We serve a really big market, so that's and I think we're also the only store in Southern Ontario left with no quarter prime in stock right now, so I sold a bunch of Eilish Garrities. Sorry, when I say I sold a bunch of Eilish Garrities, what I mean is I sold a bunch of the reboot of a popular magazine with some great articles and features that happens to include a free model that you may or may not want.
What? What?
I'm not even actively playing War Machine, and I bought it for, namely the model. I'll read it eventually.
Mine is,
yours is painted. That's not fair.
Yeah, get your shit together.
I set mine off to get painted because my good friend Angelina said she would paint it. Of course, I'm paying her, but I always like to get my mercs painted by other people that we can have different mercs from different areas from different people.
I have that is really cool actually. I have not played in a tournament without being fully painted in 2 years. So I made that a promise to myself, and I was like, I want to try Eilish and Garrity because he's really Eilish Garrity in Grimkin because he's really strong in Bump in the Night. And he's available there as a free solo, but then I was like, but he's not painted, so I guess I know what I'm doing. So Friday night, we had kind of a hobby night with a couple of buddies, and I knocked him out.
That's pretty much all I did. Saturday was paint. I painted up, because I'm doing a sketch type style with my Grimkin, and I painted up all 4 Gremlin Swarms, 2 Skin and Moans, and the Battle Engine all yesterday in sketch style, which is pretty much just nothing but priming them black, doing a light gray wash on them, or a dark gray wash, then a light gray wash, and then dry brushing them like 2 shades of gray and 2 shades of white, and then adding a splash of color to them type thing. But it looked decent.
I dig it. It's a really popular style these days. I think it's kind of the non-metallic metal of the current era of painting styles.
Well, it's hard to get an army that it looks nice in, and I think Grimkin fits that really well.
They've got a kind of otherworldly quality that suits that painting style.
Correct.
Evan, I was going to ask you, and I didn't get a chance to. Who actually won the tournament, or did we sort of? I had to leave early because there was a play.
So, you won the tournament by 1 strength of schedule, but Jason also went 4-0. There were 2 undefeated.
Cool.
Yeah. So good job, I guess, for leaving before the standings were posted.
Coming off like a bit of a dick when you said it. Yeah. I did not know that. But it was a really, really good event. If anyone has comments or questions about Grimkin during this episode, I definitely can talk about them because I've now won a couple of events with them and really enjoy them.
I think my favorite part of it was how many people were just like, oh, I killed another person with Old Witch 2.
Yeah, I didn't even get to play Old Witch 2, and there were like 4 of her out there. Everyone was really excited to put her on the table.
Just insane.
Oh, I love Old Witch 2. She's amazingly balls fun.
We had 2 people playing her in Grimkin and 2 people playing her in Kador. Is that right, Evan? Something like that. It was really high.
I think there were 3 Kador and 1 Grimkin, but yeah.
3 Kador, 1 Grimkin. Cool. And that wasn't the. Sorry, go ahead, John.
I love her in Kador. I mean, I've done a few proxies with her before I got the model, and I just love playing with her in there. I'm like, oh, I've got this list. I like playing it. Oh, Reinhardt's now legal. Yeah, bitches, you're all going down. Oh, you had stealth? Yes, you had stealth.
There were some crazy lists.
Shot twice? Yes, I shot twice.
Yeah, Dave was playing her in Winterguard Command. I think was
Matt was playing the same list, and then who else was playing her? Jeff was playing her in Kador, and I forget who else.
Yeah, I think there was also a Grimkin player who was playing her. Anyway, she was super popular, and she looks just gorgeous. Like she's going to be a pain to transport, but I think Dave was saying he's got her in a Glacier King transport container, and that's the only one that would fit.
Right before I could ask, Maxim DT was wondering how sturdy is your model for transport. Apparently, the answer is.
No, she's just big. That's really the problem.
Just big?
Assuming that you didn't get one of the initial lock and load run ones, and that if you did, you wrote into Private Press and said, "Can you please give me a new torso?" She's actually like the model is super. I'm literally holding the model. Here you go. This is it. So it's super sturdy. Like this is all plastic. Like they're resin plastic combination. The kind of ring pieces they interlock really nicely. Like I've just been dry fitting, and it basically holds together dry fit style. And then there's like Private Press's classic, like we put 3 pieces of metal on here because #reasons. But like once it's assembled, like she supports herself on this base like really well. She's well centered gravity style. Just she's a foot tall. Like she's a 12-inch tall model, and there's nothing you could do about that. You could like this is the join for the ball. Like it's just a big thing here, so you could definitely put a magnet in that. Like I did the same thing for my Storms. Actually, I've got them right here. I've got a Storm Strider that is magnetized in the same respect, and
I may not be able to see it because you're on a really tiny screen.
Yeah, Storm Strider. You just put a magnet in the bottom of this thing, and you can put a magnet in the bottom of her exactly the same way. I'd use a big nickel-sized magnet, something like that. I guess if you're American, it's not a nickel size; it's slightly bigger than that. But yeah,
that metric system. God damn it!
Things metric change
bigger in Canada because I don't know. It's just because our penises are larger.
Says who? Okay, yeah, says you. Sorry.
But I think she wouldn't be that bad, and I probably will. The magnetizing her at the hut, that's probably not possible. The hut portion is actually basically one piece, but you can cut maybe 4 or 5 inches of her height off by magnetizing the kind of floating recreation of Kane on the top of her.
Well, I know. See, I got one that was the melty legs, bendy legs ones.
Yeah.
And this was before they were going to say that they were going to give us new legs. So I took a metal hanger and drilled holes all the way through the legs in both directions, or both sections of the legs, one going down, one going up, and then drilled a hole all the way through the middle to where they would connect. And so I've got 4 pins about the size, about 4 inches long into her. So there's a pin going down from one leg into the base on each leg, and then one pin going up into each leg, and then one pin going across. And it'll be sturdy. I know the new legs are really are a whole lot better. But the old ones, yeah, when I was drilling them out, it would come out really bad powder and just really, it was a horrible, I don't want to say, I guess it was mixture that they used for her legs. But yeah, she is super tall. So you're going to have good luck trying to transport her in anything but a foam block.
Yeah, I mean, just transport her in a foam block. It's fine. Like, I don't want to be that guy, but like, it's really not that bad to just like take a little bit more space in your bag and just have her in a proper container.
Honestly, I take a lot of times I used to take a paper box and I would carry awkward stuff in there with like extra accoutrement that doesn't fit elsewhere. Just because, I mean, you got arms free if you're using a backpack or a shoulder bag, and just take advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to. I mean, because they haven't done a foam yet tray for her yet, like all the other ones. Was it Battle Foam hasn't done one yet or whatever? I don't think.
Sorry. It's so weird actually saying that on a podcast.
Yeah.
What's weird saying what on a podcast?
Saying Battle Foam.
Oh,
Metal-chan would not say battle foam. Metal-chan would not do that.
are we supposed to not? Is there? Do you guys
No,
have like
no,
a sponsorship agreement or something?
No, that was
No,
a
we don't-
Metal-chan thing.
We don't have sponsors.
Okay.
Our sponsors are our own selves.
Okay, cool.
We
I mean,
don't have
like-
anything.
I mean, on Arcane Assist. Ooh, look at me.
What?
We don't like have any sponsors right now, like that we give specific shout outs to, but I tend to like to give credit to companies that are doing things that I appreciate.
Yeah.
And then if they want to later send me money and stuff, I'd be totally down with that. If you're out there and you feel like sponsoring something, Arcane Assist is a great venture. Like, yeah, I've got a bunch of Battle Foam and I've got a bunch of KR, and I like both things. I think both companies do really well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I use whatever works, and it's cheaper for me.
Yeah.
I recently invested in the like medium-sized Citadel case because channel foam is amazing, and I can fit 2 turtles in that.
That's actually true. The Citadel cases are really, really well made.
Oh, the new ones are? Okay, good.
Yeah, the new Citadel cases are fantastic.
Yeah, the old ones are shit. But this is the thing: is like Games Workshop's been in this business for so long, but like they have both the absolute worst and the absolute best examples of things.
I have their old cases, you know, the black ones. I have a million of them.
The ones with the little Citadel on them.
Well, they're actually old enough that they actually say Games Workshop on them, sir.
Oh yeah, now you're dating yourself.
I am. Actually, I actually even have 2 of their cases from before they made those cases where they just use Doshkill gun cases and put custom foam in it.
You know, Evan wasn't alive when those were made.
That's
Wait, hold on.
No, I'm going to get alcohol.
Do the.
Wait, Evan, how old are you?
I'm 21.
Whoa, okay, so you can drink today. Woo!
Yes.
Man, I didn't want to start, like, you know,
Hold on,
using,
I'm-
like, R-rated language around you and get in trouble from the Canadian police or something.
In Canada, 19 is the legal drinking age.
See, when I was young, the drinking age was 18 in Louisiana, and then I joined the
Oh.
military, and then the drinking age was 21, and I was fucking pissed. Because I was used to be able to go, like... Because I turned 18, like, 6 months before school ended, so I was a high schooler drinking alcohol and going and getting drinks and all this other stuff. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to join the military, that way I can go do stuff and get out of this town and stuff. And then I was 21, and I had to wait, and I was like, fucking A. This sucks. So,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we didn't, we didn't, hurt your sensitive minor ears, Evan.
Oh, of course. No, that's fine.
Because we can always tell you the greatest joke of all time, but it has to be done off air.
Oh, okay.
What?
What? Somebody knows the greatest joke of all time in the chat, and they may be able to repeat it. But I can't.
Something, Twitch rules of conduct.
Someone knows the greatest joke of all time. They've said it before in the chat channel.
Alright.
But
Alright.
well, we're actually coming down to the end of the PreRamble. Constant word parties. Yes. So we're going to be actually coming down to the end of the chat and into the PreRamble. We'll be back in just a little bit. Make sure everybody gets their good drink that they have. Make sure they get their food, everything else, because we're going to be on here for a while. And we will be coming back and we will be talking about competitive play. We will be talking about your podcast, Arcane Assist, movies, and hopefully drinking a lot. Don't forget to refresh your browser. We'll be right back.